We've been covering the inflation numbers for January this morning, and we talked about with some food prices, we've seen an easing in price pressures. There is still a battle brewing between Ottawa and the grocers, though. On Friday, the House of Commons told grocery giants Loblaw and Walmart to sign on to the Grocery Code of Conduct or risk legislation. We also, meanwhile, heard from Loblaw about plans to invest more than $2 billion in the Canadian economy to enhance its network and improve access to affordable food. For all of these developments, let's bring in Sylvain Charlebois. He's director of the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Sylvain, it's nice to have you with us. Since we did talk a lot about the inflation story this morning and saw a little bit of what's happening with food prices, how would you characterize the story of food inflation that's in front of us right now?
Well, things are easing for sure. If you talk to food companies, they are seeing the same thing. Supply chains are much easier to manage right now. Margins are more predictable. And so it's not surprising that we're seeing consumers benefiting from what's going on up the supply chain. So this morning was a good CPI report for grocery shoppers. I mean, first of all, the gap between inflation and food inflation is down to 1%. We haven't seen that in 2 years almost. And also that 1.1% drop from December to January when it comes to the food inflation rate is the largest since May 2016. So you can tell, John, that things are shifting very rapidly right now.
And so how is that impacting the tone in Ottawa? Because we were talking earlier about the House of Commons hearings, Loblaw and Walmart being told to sign the Grocery Code of Conduct or risk having it legislated. Do you think they will?
Well, first of all, I was actually testifying before that same committee 2 weeks ago. And to be honest, John, the tone wasn't great for retailers. RCC, Retail Council of Canada, was actually right next to me. They actually were almost lectured by the committee, to be honest. I think MPs are running out of patience here. Everyone agrees that a code of conduct would actually help, would increase competition overall. And we all know now that both Loblaws and Walmart are not necessarily adhering to a voluntary code. I think we're still focusing on implementing a voluntary code, hoping that everyone would join, because really, without the two big players, I don't think a code would actually work in Canada, which is why MPs are really pressuring those two companies.
And they had their own pushback just on what they feel like actually moving ahead with some kind of legislation would mean for prices. Is that correct?
Well, so Galen Weston in December did claim that a code of conduct would cost more money, but he did retract his comments, I think it was a day or two before Christmas. And so, again, there's lots of misinformation out there. A lot of people think that the code is about government intervention. It is not. It is not about price fixing. It's really more about creating a level playing field, giving a chance for suppliers to survive, to have a shot at the market, and also independent grocers are suffering out there. And it was just help basically ease things for players out there that are at the mercy of higher fees coming from grocers, and also, I mean, when it comes to things like the blackout period, and those are practices that should go away. But we have this culture within the grocery industry that really forces everyone to adhere to the same practices over and over again.
We saw Loblaw put out a press release today saying it's going to build more than 40 new stores as part of an investment plan of more than $2 billion. And then they note that the capital investments they are undertaking this year will create more than 7,500 jobs in Canada. Our own Andy Bell was sort of looking at this earlier, and it's sometimes when companies put out these kind of statements, it's hard to know what was already baked into their plans. Do you think the timing of this statement coincides with some of the tensions we're seeing within the industry?
Well, I've been following the industry for 20 years, and I think it is this time of year when Loblaw does issue a statement like this, showing to its shareholders and Canadians that they're reinvesting in the economy. It's always a great thing. I mean, but the reality is that there are always conversions. Companies always reinvest in their systems. Loblaws is the #1 grocer in the country, so it's reassuring to see Loblaws continuing to invest. But I think this statement this morning is more about PR than anything else.
Okay, well, let's get down to it. At the end of the day, when it comes to what consumers are doing, what their habits look like right now, what they actually are navigating around and what they want, you try to capture this. You actually just did a new survey out today. What were some of the findings?
People are desperate for rebates. They're buying. I mean, if you look at what's going on right now, I mean, people are going to the grocery store way more often. The frequency rate for grocery visits has gone up 32% in the last 6 years. What that means, John, is that people are just bargain hunting a lot more. They're visiting more grocery stores. And so with Loblaw's announcement today, again, Loblaws knows, and everyone else knows, that consumers have actually expanded their portfolio of stores, if you will. And so you got to be out there offering good deals, loss leaders. You have to offer also generous loyalty programs to keep that foot traffic up for each and every stores.